所有在6·4参与的，不是光流了鲜血的英雄和他家属们，还有中国当时的10几亿人民，很多人参与。凡是参与的，凡是今天没有站出来说话的，凡是那些幕后的英雄，那也是永远文贵尊敬的。更不要说那流血牺牲的家属和那些人，那是文贵永远心目中的英雄。我对那些所有的6·4的流血的英雄和家人，和当时那些无名英雄，永远的尊敬和敬仰。文贵要奔着那目标往前进。在我心田扩大了面积，别让那你我的爱缩短距离，所以我好愿意。爆料革命新中国联邦不是说偶然的，它是必然的。我相信它有神秘的力量在后面推动着我们。我也更相信很多人，你们会看到爆料革命的战友绝不是开始2017年，也不是2015年，爆料革命从1989年就开始了。严格讲，当时我资助的学生和我在清风岗所遇到的人和被杀的勇士，那就是我们的最初的战友。
Happy June 4th. So today is a very important day. Not only it commemorates about 36 years ago, the Tiananmen Square massacre, but also it's the 5th anniversary of the new federal state of China. So today we'll have a special program, and we have two guests today, Mr. Truth 007 and also Nina, to be in our show today. We're going to talk about our feelings and our experience with the whistleblower movement and new federal state of China. Welcome, and welcome, Mr. Truth.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I want to thanks and appreciation of all members of China, especially really missing miles from joining SAP. So it is the 5th anniversary of the establishment of the new federal state of China, and is a milestone, and is a day that different sections and patients, chapters of our line that's very wonderful time for us. Our mission is to take down this system. Okay? 我的声音没有吗？外面没有，一点都没有吗？
Okay. Okay, now there might be some technical issues. Okay, let's Nina introduce. Hi, Nina. It's been a while. How are you today?
Hi, everybody. So happy to join today's special show. And you can see my hat. This is new federal state of China. I'm so proud. I'm the member of new federal state of China. And Mr. Miles Guo and Mr. Steve Bannon founded the new federal state of China 5 years ago. Unfortunately, Mr. Miles Guo couldn't be here with us today. He's still in prison at the MDC, but I believe he will come out soon. And the movement he founded, he started back in 2017, and we can see over the past years such a great the progress we have achieved, and now the whole world understands CCP is not equivalent to China, and CCP cannot represent the Chinese people, and the whole world is taking action to decouple with China and decouple with the CCP. So we are really looking forward to see this illegitimate party regime collapse soon. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'm not sure if Mr. Truth is your microphone working now? Can you test?
Can you hear me? Test. Can you hear me?
Yeah, the voice is kind of low.
可以出去了吗？
Okay, so we'll continue and get back to him later when his microphone is working. As I mentioned, today is really special. You know, I have two important days. One thing is the 36 years ago, probably a lot of people already know this, the Chinese Communist Party started a suppression to the Chinese people who protested for peace and liberty and freedom and in the Tiananmen Square. And a lot of people were killed, including young kids and their family members. So I don't know. What's your experience, Nina? To me, that's part of the reason I escaped the communist China. Because when I was in college, at that time in the early 2000s, when the Chinese people still had access to YouTube and some other media, so I got to see the truth. So I feel deeply shocked about the cruelness of the Chinese Communist Party. I know they're corrupted, but I didn't know, they dared to kill people using tanks and guns and everything. It was definitely a tragedy. So since then, I know we have to take them down because the way they treat the Chinese people is really bad. Now, I don't know. I want to hear your stories. What's your opinions on this? And is that part of the reason that you joined the whistleblower movement also?
Like 36 years ago, I didn't experience the Tiananmen Square. My parents was the generation. They were part of this demonstration, and because of the CCP's cover up, our generation couldn't receive the true information, the real information, until we moved abroad, and we have the freedom to see the real history, what really happened. Then I started to understand this evil regime is really the problem of the whole world, not only Chinese people, but the security is a big threat to the whole world. You cannot coexist.
所有在6·4参与的，不是光流着鲜血的英雄和他家属啊，还有中国的当时的实际人民，很多人参与。凡是参与的，凡是今天没有站出来说话，凡是那些幕后的英雄，那也是永远文贵曾经的。更不要说那流血牺牲的家属和那些人，那是文贵永远心目中的英雄。我对这些所有的
What happened in Hong Kong is in the Europe, in America, the whole Western civilization is under the threat of the CCP's dictatorship, and I think our movement, the New Federal State of China and Miles Guo's whistleblower movement, really help a lot of innocent Chinese to build up the knowledge and to understand what is really happening and to wake up and say no to this illegitimate regime. Yeah, back to you.
Okay. Is it working now for Mr. Truth 07? Is he joining? Okay, he will join us soon. Okay, let's continue our conversation here. Yeah, absolutely. It's such a tragedy to see that. Especially recently, I started arguing sometimes with friends because in communist China, the media has been manipulated. I think after they built the Great Firewall to block all the information about the Tiananmen Square massacre, and a lot of people, especially the young people, they don't get to know the truth. And so that's very critical about the media. We and Getter is a great platform. It's a free platform, and everyone can express their opinions and share the truth. So sometimes I feel really sad that when I talk to the younger generations and they forgot about the history just because the CCP, they use their propaganda tools to control and brainwash them. But hopefully one day they get to know the truth. If they do have a chance to visit the outside internet, and they probably will find the truth very soon. And that's part of the reason that Miles Guo has also been suppressed a lot, including all the whistleblower movement. Even we're outside, the CCP is now outreaching to the outside the world, especially the West world, the United States. They have deeply infiltrated into the American media and a lot of other communities, try to control the opinions and their attitudes toward the CCP. It's a really dangerous situation. I think Mr. Truth is back. Is it working? So I'd like to hear your voices again.
you hear me? 外面也有了是吧？
Okay,
好啊，
now
可以
it's
了。
your time.
Okay, 好的。All right. Hi. How's everyone going? And Chris, see, Nina, what? Okay. So what about the internet censorship? So have we played that video? Sorry, I just got it here.
Not yet. We're just still talking about the June 4th, the NFSC and the Tiananmen Square massacre. Could you share your opinions on that tragedy and also the celebration of our NFSC, the new China?
Yeah, wow, the reason that I must say that I come from Beijing, and the time that I left, it was just a couple of years before the Tiananmen massacre. So I'm sure if I wasn't out of left Beijing for my study overseas, I would be tending the Tiananmen Square, and I probably one of those get killed or run away, or something not very good happens. So but I do want to share one of my experiences, because in Beijing, one of my best friends, who is the one of the top scientists, as the head of the I think biophysics institute of the Academy of Science. He was the chief scientist, and being invited by U.S. Army to do research on some subject for about 3 years. And his wife is a very lovely and famous professional in the Beijing's one of the hospitals. And she told us, okay, that night when the Tiananmen massacre happens, in the hospital, this whole any facility was full of people. Most people are half dead or losing a leg or head, and there's no way they can even treat the wounded by the Communist Party and by the ordered by the CCP's heads. I think Deng Xiaoping, and then Jiang Zemin and those guys. What happened is that there are really so many people dead, okay, including mostly students, but including civilians, okay, the civilians in Beijing, living in Beijing as well. So that had the whole impact in the total population, okay. That's true. So I can confirm that, and she wouldn't tell me anything but the truth. She told me it was so frightening, and they were told not allowed to talk about it. So, but of course, you cannot really shut people's mouths down between friends. They will tell you the truth what happens in the hospital. Okay, that's just one of the hospitals. There's so many other hospitals. Today I also heard from one of our whistleblowers that he was actually in the Tiananmen Square. Okay, and he later on come out and he said he never talked to anyone about it. It was just so that experience of fear, okay, and exhaustion and the emotionally turmoil was so big. He kept it until today. He was interviewed I think he living in Canada now, and talking to around a group of whistleblowers to celebrate the fifth anniversary. And he said, "I'm going to tell you what happened." Yeah, that's what happened. He was in another hospital, okay, and that was the same situation. And he also went to a hutung. So that's where how people lives in China, the lower level of backyard and houses, people living together in a shared yard. The yard was full of dead bodies. When he was running away, he thought he was going to be killed, and he was in the cloud. He was at the back, and the back is where the soldiers would shoot, and the people around them get shot. And he was lucky, and he was crawling, trying to get there and get around. Then went to a courtyard where so many, just like the mountains of bodies there. There was while it's happening. So think about how many people been killed. Not just 10,000 people. I think this whole, cloud, according to some media, is like 50,000 people. in the center, but their civilians come out to support the students. And Miles Gore was one of it. Okay, he sold his motorbike and provided food and so on there with his brother. That's where he was hunted by the police. Finally, a few days later, he was hunted, and his brother was killed by the police. Was bleeding to death while in the hospital. There was an order that you cannot treat these guys are political criminals or something like that. So that's why from that point, the defining point, the Miles Gore said, I'm going to take down the CCP because they're so evil. Okay, so today he is in MDC in the jail, still not released. And I'm still wondering, all of us are wondering why not. Okay, that's a political prosecution, and all our whistleblowers, not in overseas, but also inside China, half of these Communist Party members are they're our allies. They don't like the system because they feel also it's a system of, according to Miles Gore, it's like a blender for meat. So everyone in the system, you either kill others or being killed to be able to escalate your status, to get more power and more money and more women. That's the system. So that system should never exist. But we know, as Miles Gore said, it was from, it was recognized by the Western deep state, the Illuminatis or something like that. Without them recognize the legitimacy, they cannot rule Chinese people. So please withdraw that order back and let Chinese people really have a rule of freedom. Let the whistleblowers movement, okay? And our idea of Miles' Gore's idea is that we have to have one vote, okay? One vote, one person, one voting power system. We've got to enjoy the freedom of land title. Wow. Even you are a billionaire, you own the high-rise building. You know how many years you own? You only get 70 years leasehold, not freehold land. So you don't have any land. And we are not citizens. We are called the residents. Even I have the Chinese passport, they still say that you are the residents of the people surrounding China, not the citizen. So you're not protected by the CCP. So why do we have a CCP there? Their legitimacy is because Wall Street, those guys support them. Okay, so they want to keep a blood sweat factory in China to make Nike and other clock, everything produced cheaper with the famous brand. Then they can own sell for 10 times, 100 times profit. So that is based on exploitation of the 老百姓, according to Stephen K. Bannon. So 老百姓 now want freedom back. Please get out of China and let people rule themselves. Let's take down the CCP. Pray for Miles Gore's safety and come back with us soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Truth, for this very, very touchy talks, and also your personal experience with June 4th, Tiananmen Square massacre. And this has been well known in the West, although we still hope more and more people inside of communist China can still hear this truth. And it has been almost 90 years since World War II, but still the Joseph Goebbels is still working. Say if they repeat lies 1,000 times or more, and it's going to become truth. And unfortunately, that's happening. This is why it's so important. We really thank all the friends and whistleblower movement and their families for still standing with us, stand for truth, for freedom against the Communist Party, and that's really appreciated. And hopefully, we're going to take them down very soon. And Miles Gore will be back with us, and all these evil, also inside of the West, will be exposed shortly. Okay, now, especially this Getter platform and War Room and Mr. Steve Bannon, who is also a co-founder of New Federal State of China. And let's watch his interviews, and we'll share our opinions later.
Do you believe anyone in the current administration is capable of decisively confronting the CCP and protecting MAGA's interests?
Well, obviously Trump is. For MAGA, we know that the War Room Posse, which is kind of the activist branch of the right, what they call the Bannon wing or whatever, it is the activist branch. We know they understand it because every time we have you guys on or other experts from the from the Committee on the Present Danger China to all these other experts we have on, our audience is very fluent in this topic. When I put things up on Getter, you get very, very sophisticated comments back. So number one, what we have to with MAGA is make sure that we've expanded out within all of MAGA, and that's what I hope Getter turns into, is the platform for MAGA, that we expand out so that everybody in the MAGA movement is at a level set when it comes to information. I don't think we're there yet. Once we get there, we can, then take it to the next level with independents and really Democrats. You would think that particularly back after Tiananmen Square in the 1990s, the biggest protesters, pro-Tiananmen Square, revolutionaries, the pro-Tiananmen Square student protesters, their biggest supporters really the Democratic Party. That's all gone away as the Democratic Party's kind of been bought off by the CCP. This is why they don't even support the tariffs or trade or anything President Trump's trying to do on engaging in the economic war the CCP is visiting on the United States. So for us, I think our mission, and this is why I've got a lot of ideas I'll be sharing with you guys as we get some bigger international platforms here that have bigger international potential audiences, is doing more stuff in New Federal State, more stuff on Getter, just more specials, take segments and drill down. The one thing I think it's shown us here recently is President Trump, as we said would happen, is engaged in a total essential war against the CCP because they brought it on themselves. And I think even in President Trump's thing, he needs assistance in actually making sure we explain it as plainly as possible. And one of the things I love coming on the show, you and Ava are two of the best I've ever worked with, and obviously Forrest is great too. So I think it's just, we need to redouble our efforts. We need to do more content. We need to do deeper content. We need to do content with better graphics, all of that.
Yeah, it basically covers a little bit, and it's really glad to see that there's still a lot of good friends in the West who is clearly, about the Chinese Communist Party. And I don't know, it sounds really good that we have a lot of friends still in the United States who can stand with us together against the CCP. And what's your take on this, Nina?
So first of all, 36 years ago, the pictures, the videos we still can see nowadays and every year repeated again. The Western world, they are not blind. They saw it and they continue seeing it. The CCP is infiltrating the Western world. They believe give them the free market, let them to entering the World Trade Organization. Once the economy develop, the system may change. But this is not the reality. They will never ever change, and you cannot expecting them. They have done some atrocity to the Chinese people. You condensing them, then they will make change. No, with the evil, the only chance is take them down. You cannot giving them the second chance, third chance, again and again. And another thing I also learned at this Ukraine humanitarian aid, the Jewish people, they said it very clear. If you see the evil thing and you don't take a side, you stand neutral, then you are same like you stand with the evil. So you have to choose a side. You cannot say, hey, this is far away from us. Our life is not threatened or not affected yet. Then we say nothing. If you see it and you don't take action, then you are the same like the evil. And this is now really important that we have to wake up the Western people in such a way. But another important thing is, so we say we don't interfere with the American politics. We don't involve with the Western politics. And this is the same for the Western societies. They also don't involve with our Chinese politics. So taking down the CCP is really, we cannot depend on anyone else. It is our own duty, our Chinese people's duty. And we have to unite it together to take actions together. Otherwise, we can, we cannot expecting other people to do the things for us. We have to stand in the front line and take actions and action every day. Back to you.
Yeah, we are just 老百姓, like very normal people, but still our voice matters because the truth that we speak out against the CCP and also the evil forces in the world is very important. We're going to wake up more people and hopefully unite all them together and go against the common enemy, which is the Chinese Communist Party. So now go to Mr. Truth.
Thank you. Thank you, Nila. Well said. Yes, we don't bother, we don't interfere with anyone else's businesses. Like we're not really interested in the U.S. bipartisans and the politics. Okay, but yet we can stood the side of justice. Okay, the justice matters to us is about the people's freedom in China. Okay, the way that how the Communist Party have been enslaving us during the history. We know, the communism come from like Karl Marx, Friedrich Engels. They write some volumes about the capital. And me as a student, university student in China, when we study economicus, we have to study political economy, which we have to study the 3 volumes of the Karl Marxism, which is where, the theoretical foundation of the socialist idea come from. But I think those ideologies have been actually institutionalized by the Illuminatis. If, during the end of the World War II, if the Illuminatis doesn't give the legitimacy to the Chinese Communist Party, which let them have a license to rule China, they can't rule China. I mean, there was Kuomintang, okay, Taiwan, they were the national legitimate government. They have the armies, okay, and they also fight during the anti-Japanese war. They fight the most. The CCP really hidden in somewhere in the cave in the Yan'an and in the Western China, and they just did nothing and waited until chances happens, and they will harvest the peach. That's what we say. They pick up the fruit of the peach, which is matured. So that's what Mausko told us, given this history of what's happened, and during the Tiananmen massacre, in the end, they're supposed to be, a few days ago, they're supposed to be surrender. That's why they spend about $1 billion to send all the children overseas. Okay, they need to go and take them some money, a few million US dollars each. That's a lot of money. Like now it's like $100 million, right? It's about 36 years ago. So they were just sent to the overseas and study and live there and have the children's children and so on. That's the legitimate children. That's what, around the Tiananmen Square massacre, they decided to do it. But then, of course, then the US, the Illuminatis, the deep state said, okay, we're going to support you. We're going to give you, the favored nation trade status granted by the United States, and you can do business with us. As long as you do business with us, we also believe once you become economically more powerful, and then maybe you can change the system and treat your people better. But never, okay? You see, the better what happened is the support of the Western technology, especially censorship, okay? So people have no voice, freedoms. That's number one thing. Number two, so much money, favor the nation trading state means what? Means like Alibaba, all the big, huge companies occupy Chinese market and then go through the 4 top tiers accounting firm, have the books ready, and then listed in the stock exchange in the United States. You know how much capital uprising, how much cash they get. They get shared with Wall Street and the CCP family members. They never go to the pocket of the Chinese people. Chinese people are the extra surplus provider in value-added manufacturing system for the entire supply chain. Even the trade sanction is there. You see, the people who suffer first are the hard-working people on the line to lose the job, therefore lose the house, lose the car loans, you can't pay the car loan, you can't pay the house loan, then you lose your house. But we don't have a house. We have 70 years leasehold apartments for most people, okay? 99%. So that's the situation. The sanction actually hurt, but of course, it also hurt the CCP. So what Miles once mentioned to us, as long as the US, no matter who, what it is, you do not support the maintenance of the firewall technology, so Chinese people can freely access internet for the overseas, see what we're talking about. And within a week, the CCP will be gone because the truth is so powerful. Now we are all blind and we're thirsty by the Western technology inside China. So we are all enslaved as hardworking, blood, sweat, and labor. That's all we see. All we see is go to work, working overtime, get half pay, and then feed our kids, and then or maybe paying the loans. Okay, that's the main big stresses. Now, half of people really can't save the loan. If you make a phone call to China to your friends, and they say we lost the job, we can't pay, so then the bank will do some deal. They have to pay someone fees. All this kind of things happens. If you see how the living status is, there's no dignity, no freedom of speech. All you do is get survived. So don't die. I mean, there are a lot of die suddenly because the mandate the vaccination jabs with the poison and those elements, the nanoparticles, okay, all the gene changing technologies into 90% of the Chinese population. So that's another sadness imposed to them by the CCP. So we have to take down CCP, and once the support of money flow trading, not with China, with the CCP and with the companies, also delist them, the technology companies who support the CCP. You know, I'm sure within months, weeks, the CCP will be diminished because the people in China want to have that freedom, but they can't have it. So, because although they are outnumbered, okay, as Mr. Steve K. Bannon said, the real CCP members, you got probably 1%. So we are 99 over 1. Why can't we just physically take them down? But no, that's the case. If one person start with that, protest against the CCP in a street, you know what happened? All the police, all the second-class police hide. They come to take you away, and you disappear. Your organ harvest. They never find you. That's why. That's how they do it. So because the internet censorship, you cannot run away at all. And immediately you cannot use the payment system. So you can't survive. That's what it is. So really, please, if that is not supported by Western technology for internet censorship, and also money supply, cash flow, and also like the payment system sanctions, I don't think CCP will survive. So that depends on if you really want to help Chinese people, please. If you want to take down CCP, if you don't want to take down CCP, you see what happens with the Trump stolen election and all the illegal unrestricted warfare will upon you. And next time there'll be no more mercy. It'll be quickly, as Miles Gore mentioned, disasters. So they can do that to Chinese people. They can do that to American people as well. No matter who you are, they think they are the boss. It's going to ruin the world, not the United States. So that's the CCP. Have no bottom line, no value, no shame, no rule of law. Only have it's the philosophy of gangsters. They want to be the boss. All of you will be enslaved by me. So please recognize that, and let's together take down the CCP. Thank you. Back to you, please.
Wow, 100%. Thank you for sharing so much insightful information. And yeah, I think both Nina and also Mr. Schultz had a very good point. And as Miles Gore knows a lot of inside information about the Chinese Communist Party infiltration into the American politics. This is why we don't want to get into this then, because they're good people, they're bad people in both sides, and hopefully more and more people understand that the chaos inside in the current U.S. politics situation is, if not 100%, very close to 100% because of the CCP. They have been instigating the chaos, or like Miles exposed, they have this 3F plan to foment chaos, especially inside of the United States, having the people from both sides fighting each other. But they're actually the behind the scene, you know. And a lot of people don't know that. This is why we need to keep exposing the truth. The CCP is actually the common enemy of everybody, not only just Chinese people, American people, people all around the world, you know, from different parties, different races, different nations. The common enemy is the Chinese Communist Party. And how we take them down is also, Mr. Su already mentioned, we have to decouple from them, because the money, all your money, your 401k, your retirement, your hardworking money got invested in China and taken advantage by the CCP to suppress the Chinese people, to infiltrate the rest of the world and causing a lot of problems. And that's why we need to stop. And let's watch another videos from War Room. I think
Before we move to the next
yes,
video.
yes, Nina, please. Yes, Nina, please.
So I want to expand a little bit on what Chu said. Basically, this communist thing is not originated come from China. It's originally come from Germany, and it developed further in China. It developed in the past 70 years in China. And it's not only in China right now. It is international communism. It has already landed in America. It is never left in Germany. It is also in many other countries. And how you spot it? Who is ever working together with CCP? They are also part of these evil activities. You know, if they are not decoupled with CCP, they are also part of the problem. This is it's like a disease. You know, the Chinese Communist Party is a terrorist regime. They are not only torturing people, they're killing people, and you know, the most evil thing they are doing on earth, out of your imagination. So whoever right now is still working together with them, colluded with the Chinese and helping them to infiltrate, to destroying your own safetyness at your own nation and creating chaotics at your society. They are also part of these evil activities. Then you understand they are also the problem of the society, and not only us. You know, the whole world is taking action, and we united together to take down this terrorist regime. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Nina, for adding further. Yes, these are very important. We got to understand the truth about the CCP. This is also the name of our program. We got to expose them. You know, tell them who they are. You know, where their ideology comes from. What's the strategy for a mild school suggestion, and how do we take them down? So anyway, let's watch another video, and we'll share our discussion of the last segment.
The conflict in your mind with China at some point inevitable? We've heard people come on the news and they say a conflict is within 5 to 7 years. Pentagon runs a study that says within 5 to 7 years. Now, some of this seems like it is based on the need for more money and more spending and more, or is this, and you know more about China than a lot of people, and you've studied and read about it, is it going to be a military conflict? Is it going to be an economic conflict?
In this is the book, and I'll get you a copy, Unrestricted Warfare, written by 2 colonels back in the 90s off of the Gulf War. And what they said is foreign devils are so sophisticated in armaments, and particularly remote armaments and targeting, that we never want to get into a shooting war with foreign devils. That unrestricted warfare will be cyber, psychological, political, economic. We will do everything. And in fact, they announced in 2019, there's a people's war. The Chinese Communist Party is at war with us today. That's where you see the mass infiltration into the United States. That's where you see the taking of so much of our technology. We don't need, and Sun Tzu tells them in their belief, the moment they have to go kinetic, they feel they've already lost. Number one, they don't want to fight the foreign devils in a kinetic war, because they understand one thing we can do is get up on it and fucking blow shit up and kill people, okay? We're very good at that. They considered that defeat. They want to defeat us beforehand. My point. The only people that throw off, think about that, we allow the Chinese Communist Party, which is a dictatorship that's killed 250 million of their own people, right? I mean, they make Stalin and Hitler look like pikers, okay? They've murdered in concentration camps, starvation, through the Cultural Revolution, the Great Leap Forward, the collectivization, and today the gulags they have, 250 million of their own people. And the forced abortions, you add another 300 or 400 million Chinese, particularly Chinese female babies. So these people are murderous dictatorship, yet we interact with them or in business with them like they're part of the Kiwanis Club. If you want to support Lao Beijing, which is the only way they can be overthrown, that's a name for old old 100 names, because there's basically 100 names in the Chinese language, right? 100 last names. And so old 100 names is a term for the common man in China, common man and woman. If you want Lao Beijing to overthrow him, we just have to do two things. You cut him off completely from any access to American capital. And I mean any. No stock market, no equity, no lending, no nothing, zero. And you cut them off 100% from American technology. They will collapse, I believe, in 100 days. They cannot exist unless they have access to American capital or access to technology. This is why I'm one of the leaders of the decoupling effort, right? And President Trump, he wrote an executive order on Friday and signed it. That's probably the toughest thing we've done about no involvement at all with technology companies of any company that does Chinese military. It's the first time somebody's put down the law. That's the way you take care of the Chinese Communist Party. If we don't do that, I believe we'll be in a shooting war in the South China Sea and around Taiwan in 5 years. And people have to understand, I don't care about your moral, whether you think you're supporting Taiwan for a democracy or not. Advanced chip design, 30 to 40 to 50% of our advanced chip design comes from Taiwan. There's chip, and it's not easily replicable. The Koreans have tried it. The Japanese have tried it. We're trying to here in the United States with the CHIP Act. We are 10 or 20 years away from those plants. Advanced chip design is both an art and a science. We don't have it. They have it in those plants in Taiwan. It's 80 miles from the mainland China. It's a horrible situation. President Trump thinks about it all the time. You talked about the Pentagon. And that's where I spent half of my career at sea was there. The other half was in the North Arabian Sea and Persian Gulf. So I've steamed those waters. Right now, there's not been a war game in the Pentagon. They've put this out in the last 7 or 8 years that we've won defending Taiwan.
Wow.
Right. And they know that. So, and if they take Taiwan, the American economy will drop into a depression. They understand that. That's why it's kind of a standoff right now. But we have to get much more aggressive on the CCP or we're going to pay for it. And we do that by restricting Wall Street and restricting Silicon Valley from being in business with them.
Excellent. Yeah, we're back. So this is very critical, and I think really likes the War Room program. And but we have to keep spreading the truth. All the Chinese people, all the friends from the West, our Lao Beijings, we got to stand together and share the truth about the CCP. And the tactics is very simple. First, cut them off economically and decouple with them, and also try to suppress them militarily, everything. And hopefully they will collapse. I think it will collapse the whole. In a minute of time. And another thing I would just want to summarize today is the reason all these fellow fighters we are standing in front of the screen and to show the truth is we want to show the world that the Chinese people are good people. Of course, currently the China is ruled by a small group of gangsters and they have a mixed ideologies from traditional conspiracy politics, from several thousand years ago's dictatorship experience, and combined with the communist from Russian, from Soviet, or even from Germany, from Karl Marx at that time. It's just a small evil people. They don't represent Chinese people. Chinese people are hardworking. Everyone uses a lot of products and iPhones. The Chinese people only barely make $10 out of that $1,000 phone. Where does the money go to? It go to a small group of the CCP senior officials and also the Wall Street people, the evil Wall Street big corporations. And we want to take them down and just live a peaceful life like all the other honorary people wants to do in the earth, to get rid of the communisms, stop more oppressions from them. That's the biggest hope. Sorry, I might take a little too long. And now we go to Nina.
Thank you. I want also say thank you to Mr. Bannon. He hosts the War Room, and all the War Room policy understand. CCP cannot represent the Chinese, and this is really, avoided this anti-Chinese, activity happening in the Western world. It is avoiding a lot of problems for us. And Mr. Bannon in this video, he mentioned that CCP is executing this 3F plan, and also applying this unrestricted warfare. So it's like weakening America and trying to ferment chaotic in America. I just want to share one of a story. I recently talked with a German guy. He is 98 years old. He participated in the Second World War. He was served at the Air Force, and he was imprisoned by the Russian at the end of the Second World War. But then he fled the prison. He was rescued by the American military, and then since then he said Germany, because of the American support with the Marshall Plan, Germany could quickly rebuild itself, and within very short periods. And in the beginning, they were starving. They were short of food. The economy, there was no economy. But the Americans saved the nation, and giving the younger generation hope, and offering the education, and so on. He now look at what's happening in the American society. It used to be such a wealth and strong economy. Over the past few decades, it's completely destroyed by the Chinese Communist Party. All the industrialization was destroyed. All the jobs is shifting away from America to China. And he cannot imagine, like, now the American people have to work 3 shifts to pay for their bills, to pay for their food. And they can have a good life here in Europe. They can take 1 month's holiday, but the American people only can take 5 days holiday per year. And this is a huge difference. So something must be wrong happened in America, and it's not only the war happening now. I believe this destroying the Western civilization has been there for a long time, and they are executing this long-term plan. That's why the Western world is looking like right now. And the wake-up call from the war room is really important, and it's wake up a lot of American people, the American law-abiding like us, the Chinese law-abiding. Because of Miles Guo's revelation, we know the evilness of the Chinese regime. Now the American people also wake up and say no to who are colluded, cooperated with the CCP. So I have really hope, and also believe this the CCP collapsing day is coming very soon. Thank you.
I 100% agree. We're going to see a world free from communism very soon. Thank you, Nina. And now let's go to Mr. Truce.
Well said, Nina and Z. So what we can see from from today, from all our brothers, sisters, all come out to celebrate the 5th anniversary of New Federal State of China. At the same time, we have reviewed and shared all our experiences, our learnings, our frustrations, and our happy times. Also, our biggest hope is to really have a Miles Guo to be freed first. So it is almost a joke, okay, that after Biden administration, now we got the new administration. We all expect Miles Guo should be, somehow freed. There's always a ways. Looks like the DOJ still been, the Chinese unrestricted warfare on the DOJ and the SEC. They're still in power. Why not? Why not review the cases? Let us, be loved Miles Guo, because Miles Guo love Americans, American system, Americans' history, and the rule of law. It is because of that. So he, flew out of China for life. So he didn't go, he had choice to go to different part of the world, but he decided to go to the United States. So he has absolute confidence. He told us, trusting the rule of law and the legal system, the justice, not only the rule of law, but also the procedural justice and all that. So we didn't see any of this, and we actually feel I must spoken out because I'm not interested in any American politics and so on. I was one of the residents of the United States, okay, many years ago. And the problem is I can see why Miles Gore is not fit, okay? And he has done nothing, but he is a hero. He has sacrificed his life. Look at the Miles Gore story. So he's the most noble man on the earth. He just want all of us living freely, okay, without the gangsters organization, the enslaved neighbor. Those things happen to all our brothers, sisters, our population. We've got 1.2 billion population. Those gangsters are less than 1%. So of course they are supported with technology, okay, and with ideology, and they have the institution. But that's what I think. Even with themselves, they have fear. So don't think if you're a communist leader, if you are like a deputy minister, prime minister like Li Keqiang, they can be just disappeared, and they can shut up and then taken away by police force from the chair. So you are nothing. That's the situation. Don't you think once Xi Jinping wins, CCP wins, they can come to the United States and just take whatever away from you, and you cannot do anything. That's who they are, the nature of communism. So I think we're almost allowed as humanity, we're allowed all the disasters that happen on the earth, what's happening, but we are already waking up. No, we want to live in peacefully and the mutual prosperity, no exploitation of the some populations over others. So we want the common people to live in freely as well, not only for Chinese people, but for the United States and the rest of the world as well. So we're peace-loving as the Chinese, okay? Now, there's so many things to be said about it, but I think our time is limited. Let's together take down CCP ASAP. Thank you. Thank you for watching us.
Thank you very much. I think we definitely will. Yeah, Miles Gore, exactly as you mentioned, there's got to be a lot of things happening which we don't know because we're just ordinary people. But still, I think there will be a lot of push to have hearings, public hearings about Miles Gore's case, and the infiltration of the CCP into the U.S. will be exposed shortly. No matter what, because that's the truth. We're speaking truth. We have no doubt, no hesitation, and no fear against the Chinese Communist Party. And I think we only have a couple more minutes left. The other thing I really want to add is the freedom of the media. Is probably our audiences, if no matter where you live, we're challenged by the safety from the TikTok. Basically in my home, I banned my kids from using TikTok. I said that's no go because I know they're trying to manipulating the younger generation's mind and try to have them more favor of the CCP, and we got to take down that TikTok too, and hopefully also take down the great firewall, so the Chinese people can get to see the truth and communicate with the rest of the world. That's my hope. But I don't know. There are a lot of challenges too, technically and also legally. But that's what we're pushing for. And if everyone can help push for the truth and spread the truth, especially the Getter, I think the only one free platform right now on this planet, and things will be very fast. Again, happy anniversaries to NFSC and Free Miles Gore and take down the CCP. And we'll let Nina and Mr. Truth have a couple more minutes. And Nina first.
Thank you. I'm so happy today I can join the show and wearing this the new Federal State of China cap. And I think we just need to take action every day and try to spread the word as much as we can. And this day, it is approaching. I can feel it. You can feel it. Everybody can feel it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Well said. So let's take down the evil CCP. Free Miles Gore. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you all. We'll see you next time. Thank you for standing with us. See you next time.
所有 在6·4参与的不是光流了鲜血的英雄们和他家属们，还有中国当时的10几人民很多人参与。凡是参与的，凡是今天没有站出来说话的，凡是那些幕后的英雄，那也是永远文贵尊敬的。更不要说那流血牺牲的家属和那些人，那是文贵永远心目中的英雄。我对这些所有的6·4的流血的英雄和家人，和当时那些无名英雄，永远的尊敬和敬仰。文贵要奔着那目标往前进。在我心田扩大2面积，别让那你我的爱缩短距离，所以我好愿意。
爆料革命新中国联邦不是说偶然的，它是必然的。我相信它有神秘的力量在后面推动着我们。我也更相信很多人，你们会看到爆料革命的战友绝不是开始2017年，也不是2015年，爆料革命从1989年就开始了。严格讲，当时我资助的学生和我在清风岗所遇到的人和被杀掉勇士，那就是我们的最初的战友。
所有在6·4参与的不是光流了鲜血的英雄们和他家属们，还有中国当时的10几人民很多人参与。凡是参与的，凡是今天没有站出来说话的，凡是那些幕后的英雄，那也是永远文贵尊敬的。更不要说那流血牺牲的家属和那些人，那是文贵永远心目中的英雄。我对这些所有的6·4的流血的英雄和家人，和当时那些无名英雄，永远的尊敬和敬仰。文贵要奔着那目标往前进。在我心田扩大2面积，别让那你我的爱缩短距离，所以我好愿意。
爆料革命新中国联邦不是说偶然的，它是必然的。我相信它有神秘的力量在后面推动着我们。我也更相信很多人，你们会看到爆料革命的战友绝不是开始2017年，也不是2015年，爆料革命从1989年就开始了。严格讲，当时我资助的学生和我在清风岗所遇到的人和被杀掉勇士，那就是我们的最初的战友。
所有在6·4参与的不是光流了鲜血的英雄们和他家属们，还有中国当时的10几人民很多人参与。
行，就统一一下嘛，可以。
我很喜欢你这个。